Hi, this is Guld with Geeks On Tour. Do you worry about losing your phone? Do you have friends who have told you they lost their phone and all their contacts are gone? They lost all their photos. They don't know what's on their calendar. I want to ease your worries. If you use the Google apps that I'm going to show you, whether you have an Android phone or an iPhone, you will keep your data even if you lose your phone. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the apps I'm talking about are Gmail, Google Contacts, Google Calendar, and Google Photos. If you use those, your data will be synced between your phone and the cloud. Lose your phone, you won't lose your data if you use these apps. This is true for both Android or iOS, although iOS does have one more step for contacts because the Google Contact app is not available on iOS. So why is this true? It's because the Google apps store your data in the cloud. Your Google account is in the cloud. Your Google account represented by probably a Gmail address, but it could be something else. Then it keeps it in sync with your phone or your computer or your iPad or whatever device is handy, you can get your Google data showing on that device. So here's the story. Our friend Alan lost his phone. He's going to use an old phone of ours, this old Android phone. And I want to show you then that we have already wiped this phone of our stuff. If I go to Google Photos, there are no photos there. If I go to Contacts, there are no contacts there. If I go to Gmail, there is no email there. And if I go to Calendar, we will see no calendar events. So this phone has been wiped. All Alan has to do is add his Google account. So I swipe down, I go into Settings. This is on an Android phone, an old Android phone, so yours might look a little bit different, and find Accounts. Accounts and Sync. There are no accounts. Add account. Now he has to know his Google username and password. I tap to add an account and it's asking to sign in. So his email is gotguest1@gmail.com. Type in the password and next. Agree. The next message is about backup to Google Drive. Now there's nothing wrong with this. This backs up other things like other app data. I'm going to turn it off though, just to show you that backup is not required for the syncing of these four apps. Okay, so let's see what it's done. We now have an account listed here. It is a Google account. Auto sync data is on. If I tap on the Google account, we'll see that that is GotGuest, Alan's account, and it is going to sync Calendar, Contents, Drive, Gmail. Google Photos isn't listed here. That is a bit of a separate issue, but I will show you. So now let's look at Gmail, and Alan is showing up. And here is Alan's email. Just to prove this is Alan, that's the account button in the upper right. And here is his Gmail. He's so happy he lost his phone, yet he has all his email. Go back. Look at contacts. And it takes a second, but there are all his contacts. Calendar. Oh, isn't that great? He won't miss his haircut next week now after having lost his phone. And Google Photos. But there is Alan's account, so it has gotten the idea. It's now just taking a while to find his photos. And that little cloud with the arrow means backup and sync is off. So you have to specifically turn that on in Google Photos. And here are Alan's photos. So we've decided that we're going to lend Alan our iPad, and we've wiped our data from it too. Notice the same program, the same app for Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Photos. Those are all Google apps. You need to get them from the App Store. They're free. And notice that Gmail just wants me to sign in. As soon as we sign in with Alan's account, all his email will be here. Same with Calendar. We just sign in with Alan's account and all his calendar items will be there. Google Photos, same thing. Sign in with Alan's account, all his stuff will be there. There is no Google Contacts app for iOS, so you still need to use the Contacts app that came with the iPad, and this is how you tell it where to get the contacts. You have to go into your settings and find the setting for contacts, add account, a Google account. Just because it's an iPad doesn't mean that it can't use Google account data. And I'll enter Alan's password. Now I don't want it to populate the Apple Mail or calendars because we're using Gmail and Google Calendar. So I'll turn those off. All I want is the contacts. And save. That's in the settings. Now back to contacts. There are all of Alan's contacts. So I hope this has helped you have less worry about losing your phone. If you use these Google apps, all your data will be safe.